Let's go. So, once again, you are tuning in to the SCV Ready Tournament. I am Breaky CPK, your shoutcasting host. Joining me and co-hosting is Blinds of SCVReady.com. This is the semifinals, the second semifinals we're casting here. We got mouzMorroW taking on Damnosaurus Game 1 Best out of 5 series. 50 euros on the line eventually. Winner takes all in the finals, of course. So both of these players trying to move on to the finals to get to that point. We have a Protoss player currently already in the finals in Chobo. It will be a PvT matchup, and pending who the Terran is, we will have to wait and see with this series. But looking forward to finally getting this one kicked off now, seeing mouzMorroW once again.
That is right, it's gonna be a TVT on this nice map. Oh, sorry, did I miss something?
No, I don't know if I lagged out right there. I think I might have lagged a little bit. That was my bad.
Yeah, a little bit on the sound at the beginning. I was a little bit confused. It doesn't matter, we're here in game number 1 in this nice matchup, as you said. It was clearly perfect. I could understand every word you said from there. And it's gonna be here on Metalopolis, a really nice map, cross position spawning. So I'm really curious how it's gonna be. Most people say it's a lot, or was a lot, about of tanks and Viking play in TVT. But many people figure there's also a lot of other stuff you can do, and I'm really excited what those high skill players are doing. I mean, they have tons factor their experience more than us do, so probably gonna having some really nice matchup here coming up.
Yeah, obviously Terran vs Terran is probably, again, I don't have exact stats in front of me, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is the most popular matchup when it comes to tournament play, simply being that Terran is the most popular race amongst the StarCraft 2 community, of course, and hence all the talking that goes on about them. So we definitely all know kind of very set strategies, like you said, with all the tanks and Vikings coming out and whatnot, but looking forward to seeing if either mouzMorroW or Damnosaurus looks to pull off something nifty here, but so far it looks very typical. Early refinery going up for both players. Racks, of course, going up, just about finished for both players, and expecting very usual builds here early on, so we'll have to wait and see. No scouting, there is actually one scout going off for Damnosaurus here. He's going to scout the top position first. Of course, will not spot mouzMorroW, but eventually we'll spot him with a second spot. However, mouzMorroW, he has not sent out to scout yet, so either he's just feeling very confident in knowing what to expect, or he just going to be going for something else, wanting to use that SCV on the minerals, just get as many resources as possible.
That's right. Let's see what's gonna happen here. I think we could see a lot of action here, intense action, if they're so far ahead. Maybe a lot of expansions here, a lot of drops coming up. I hope we're gonna see some intense fights, since both players are super highly skilled. And as you said, there's nothing funky coming up. Just here we see Damnosaurus grabbing his second refinery. While mouzMorroW is sticking to his factory builds after the rack, so maybe a 1-on-1 build coming up with one refinery in the back here, just supplying the gas from there, and Damnosaurus is still sticking to barracks, just getting his factory a little bit later. So in the end, it's gonna be mirrored at all for this moment.
Yeah, but obviously that second gas or early refinery going up for Damnosaurus will give him a slight gas advantage, but he would, unfortunately, is building his factory a little bit later than mouzMorroW, so that's going to cause some early changes. But like I said, eventually definitely expecting very similar builds. A reactor currently going up for mouzMorroW, and the factory just finishing right there, as I'm sure we'll see him maybe could detect. No, he is actually going to start spawning Hellions right away. Going to use those for harassment purposes, I'm sure. We have a Marine already scouting out, running into 3 Marines though, and falling back is mouzMorroW with his 1 Marine, so he's going to need to get ready for this mini charge coming in here. And we got a 3 vs 3 looking to be set up between the 2 players themselves. The Hellion going to be finished though, and obviously that's going to be in favor of mouzMorroW for this upcoming battle. Not only on top of that, but he does have the high ground. So Damnosaurus is not charging in all recklessly. That's smart play. As you see the Hellion now coming in from mouzMorroW, causing the early harassment. Should be able to pick up at least 1 Marine here. Trying to micro it enough to not get enough pressure on him. He's sending the Marines now in from behind them. Hellion dropping this other Marine. Will they get the Hellion kill? That would be huge for them, but not able to do enough damage onto it. And now mouzMorroW wants to chase. He needs to be careful though with that Hellion. Make sure it doesn't get picked off right here. mouzMorroW gets the kill on both Marines before the Hellion gets taken out, and he will fall back just fine. It's a little mini battle right there. Definitely one in favor of mouzMorroW. But again, the builds are looking to be very similar. Starport already finished though for mouzMorroW, whereas Damnosaurus is concerned, he's just getting his starport up. So definitely that early second refinery slowing him down a little bit in terms of his produce.
That's right, and was some amazing micro here coming by mouzMorroW. So he's in the lead by 200 minerals in the minerals lost tab we have here. He's pushing out with a couple of Marines and some Hellions here on the top of the map. trying to do as much damage as he can. We have just 2 Marauders and a Hellion here by Damnosaurus trying to hold off the ramp. I'm kind of curious if he can do a lot of damage here. He's moving up, he's setting up by the Mensk steady here with 3 Hellions and like 7 Marines.
Yeah, setting up a defense right here, but I don't know if Damnosaurus is going to have enough. Here come the 3 Hellions leading the front lines, trying to pick off a couple of Marauders perhaps, but now they're going to go to the SCVs and cause some harassment, really throwing Damnosaurus off his game. Here come the Marines in from the backside, not using the medevac to heal though, these Marines. The Marines kind of just going in there all in and trying to take out the SCVs. Now they fall back to the medevac. And the SCVs all pulled off the production line though for Damnosaurus. He just wants to get these kills right here. But look at these Hellion control. One has 4 kills, the other one has 4 kills. So they're doing a good job of picking off those SCVs still alive. And these Marines now eventually going to fall, of course. But I think the damage was done for mouzMorroW. And he's actually going to pack up those couple of Hellions on the medevac and send them out. But again, mouzMorroW is not relieving the pressure. He has a Viking in his army now, along with a new set of Marines being built up here. We have Damnosaurus setting out a couple of Reapers. There's a siege tank out as well. Of course, no siege mode, but he should be able to take out his Marines right here. And the Viking can unfortunately do nothing but sit and watch. So a nice reaction there by Damnosaurus, taking out a mini army right there from mouzMorroW as he just sent in another Marine just for sacrificial purposes. But now he will finally fall back, although one Hellion still wanting to get some jobs done and maybe take out a couple of SCVs at least. Can he take out a couple? He has 1 kill currently. Yes, he gets 1 kill at least. There's 2 in total, but he's not going to patrol it around, try to save it. It will be difficult, but now an expansion coming up from mouzMorroW because of this pressure. And he's keeping the slight advantage that he has and keeping the pressure up. 28 Harvesters to 21 in favor of mouzMorroW.
That is some amazing gameplay by him, keeping the harassment up, keeping the pressure up, with all those Hellions, killing a lot of SCVs. At the same time, he is expanding, so he's APM up the roof, and that's something many people cannot handle. I cannot handle all his stuff. He's doing multitasking like crazy, man, doing all the pressure and doing so much macro-wise here. So this is really exciting here. And what we see still more coming out here of him, so he's just getting some more SCVs here, trying to saturate this expansion here pretty soon. At the same time, Damnosaurus is doing the same, trying to catch up here in economy. I'm not quite sure who's gonna come out ahead of it.
Yeah, Damnosaurus is going for a drop, though. It drops it just a little bit far from the SCVs, but here they're charging in now. mouzMorroW, can he react to this fast enough? He's going to lose a couple of SCVs at the very least. They already pick off 2, picking off a 3rd one right here. Here comes the medevac. Here comes the Marine army, trying to make something happen. The medevac sitting off in the background. He needs to pick them up, though, right now. Viking is in there as well. Oh, this would be dangerous, though, if he does pick it up, because the medevac can definitely sacrifice his life. So he's just going to stay in there, take out as many units as possible. He gets a couple of Marines down. They're trying to finish off these more Marines. In comes the Viking onto the ground, though. That was a very good use of those Marauders, though, from Damnosaurus, as far as I'm concerned. Got a lot of harassment on the SCVs. Forced mouzMorroW to pull his SCVs, actually, or not, no, excuse me, he's actually putting them down at the expansion. But he got a couple of SCVs, got a couple of units as well, and really caused mouzMorroW to fall back and play very defensive-minded there. And in the meantime, that bought a little bit of time for the command center to be finished here for Damnosaurus, although Marine's going to spot it. But obviously that's going to take a while for him to DPS it all the way down, and eventually he will either die or fall back. But siege mode already learned for Damnosaurus. You see him using a siege tank right here, trying to pull this Marine just in range of it. Not going to happen, but the Marauders should be able to pick it up. As far as mouzMorroW is concerned, it looks like he has also finished his siege mode. So, again, despite action back and forth, we are seeing very, very similar style builds as expected.
That's right, with a little exception here. I think mouzMorroW has twice the income by now, with lots of pressure and harassment he did with all those Hellions. I think he lost a couple of SCVs somewhere between the Marauder drop. I'm not quite sure. Just checking the income tab, seeing this big difference between those players. This is really huge, and he's even going to get a Banshee right now. So he's using everything he can to harass his opponent as much as he can. So he's doing a lot of damage while he's securing his expansion. So he's absolutely in the lead, and at the same time he's grabbing a second expansion as well, so he really want to keep this lead as long as he can, and he's really doing crazy about it.
Yeah, I love that play by mouzMorroW. I mean, like you said, he's keeping the pressure up on the base of Damnosaurus with the drops and everything. Like, even during the drop from Damnosaurus, he was counter-dropping himself, apparently, and picking off those Harvesters. And as a result, he has a 42 to 25 Harvester lead now. He has a 3rd expansion already going up as well, with the 2nd expansion just finishing for Damnosaurus, and now getting some minerals out of his minefield down here. But Damnosaurus is definitely a big hole right now, and it's going to be pretty difficult for him to recover from this, especially against a top-tier player such as mouzMorroW. But mouzMorroW getting his army more and more built up. He does not have anyone in those drop ships, but he's getting the Reapers keeping them coming as he has a siege tank coming out as well. So again, very versatile style army build as we usually do expect from these Terran versus Terran matchups. As far as you look at the units tab, 4 siege tanks already out for Damnosaurus as well as those 4 Vikings. You compare it to mouzMorroW, only 1 siege tanks to 1 Viking, but he also does 1 Banshee and the 4 Medevac, so a little bit different build in that sense. But here comes Damnosaurus. He's playing aggressive right here. He puts out the scan right there, trying to get a sight of what he's going up against. The siege tanks getting put in siege mode right here, and can he bait mouzMorroW into the siege tanks? It doesn't look like he can enough. mouzMorroW falling back, playing it smart. And there's no point in him to rush into these siege tanks, obviously. But Damnosaurus getting a nice setup right here, trying to, you know, keep mouzMorroW blocked in. But mouzMorroW looks like he's going to possibly be going around. He's stacking up these... No, the Medevac was not having units going in. Instead, siege tank going out of siege mode right here, at least for one of the tanks for Damnosaurus. And he's going to try to make this push happen now onto the expansion. But in the meantime, he possibly will be getting flanked right here. And I don't think he has any clue. Look at mouzMorroW. He's going to the high grounds with the siege tank, trying to get in range perhaps and get a nuke going on. Doesn't look like that's going to happen though. But 4 siege tanks now. They're pounding onto these SCVs. Here comes the SCV army as well as the front. Now he's coming from the back end as well, catching Damnosaurus completely off guard, surrounding those siege tanks, easily taking them out. The army of Damnosaurus completely destroyed. We already have the GG coming out. And that's going to do it just like that. So mouzMorroW, he's just played so far ahead throughout the whole game. Great harassment and eventually led him to victory.